Today, I am supposed to speak on Swamiji's thoughts about thoughts, thinking. What does it mean, that one? This is our agenda. Swamiji's thoughts on thoughts. Then you will have to question yourself. That is brainstorming activity. An overview. What is brain and what is mind? What is the relation? And what is mind? And again, how it is connected to other minds and what is cosmic mind. And what is the difference between yogic mind and our minds. And what do we mean by manas, desires, sankalpa and will. What will happen if we really have a strong will? And I hope my next speaker will explain you how to control and other things. I will give you only basic details. Swamiji said, we are what our thoughts have made us. So take care of what you think. Whatever you think that you will be. If you think weak, you are weak, you will be. If you think yourself strong, strong you will be. This teaches us not to think ourselves weak, but as strong, omniscient, omnipotent beings. So now all of you have assembled here with one aim. You wanted to learn something, you wanted to know something. So are you really serious about it? That is also a question, because this is a serious subject. Though I will tell you in a very simple words, but this subject is studied from centuries by philosophers, scientists, and our rishis. And it is our rishis, Indian Hindu rishis, who actually studied first and give a very detailed account of what is mind, how to control it, what are the practices, scientific methods, they were the ones to give. So first, what is human brain? A small video I am giving, and I heard that some of you are from medical college and some of you are nurses. You will enjoy it.
It makes us who we are. It receives information from our senses and controls our thoughts and movement. To better explore this incredibly complex organ, scientists have divided it into parts and regions. The largest part is the cerebrum, which is divided into two sides called hemispheres, just like the Earth. The outer layer is known as the cortex, which is Latin for bark. Like a tree's bark, the surface is only 1/8 inch thick, but it also contains millions of cells with fibers that send messages to other brain areas. More than 2/3 of the surface of the cortex hides in hundreds of little folds that make the wiggly visible lines on the brain. Animals that are less intelligent have a smoother brain surface. The cortex is divided into 4 regions. The frontal lobe is for personality and emotions, higher thinking skills like problem solving and controlling movement. It continues to develop until you're in your mid-20s. The temporal lobe helps process your hearing and other senses, and helps with language and reading. The parietal lobe is involved with your senses, attention, and language. The occipital lobe helps your eyes see, including recognition of shapes and colors. The thalamus in the center of the brain relays sensory and motor information to the cortex and helps with consciousness, sleep, and alertness. 12 pairs of cranial nerves carry information from your senses to and from the brain and body. Lower in the brain, we find the cerebellum, which plays a key role in motor control, coordination, and spatial navigation, so we can find our way out of a maze, for example. Underneath is the brainstem, which connects the brain to the spinal cord, a nerve pathway that runs all the way down your back, sending and receiving information from your senses. The brainstem includes the pons, which helps control our breathing, and the medulla oblongata, which regulates our heart and other body reflexes like vomiting, coughing, sneezing, and swallowing. The limbic system, a region under the cortex, processes our emotions and drives. It contains the brain's reward circuit, which releases the chemical dopamine, making us feel pleasure.
So, you have understood how wonderful is the God-given instrument to us. But it is an instrument. See, it is, Hindu rishis have recognized, even though it is a very fine instrument and is developed through ages and ages and ages, and is made up of microorganisms, and this whole brain system is a wonderful one. But then it is still an instrument. The instrument that God has given us to use properly. Okay? So now what is that is running the instrument? So we come to the running of this instrument. Look at these two pictures. One is human brain, another is computer. You notice, suppose you are having a computer sitting here without any software or this thing. Can you run it? No. It is simply a hardware. So brain is like a hardware. The mind is like software. Just like you can't see the software, we can't see the mind. But that doesn't mean that mind is not there. Without software, you can't run the computer. Similarly, without mind, I can't run this brain. And not only that, mind is so simple as it is simply a bundle of thoughts. You can hear me, all of you? Clear? So now what Swamiji said, doing is good, but it comes from thinking. See how strong is the effect of thinking. It prompts us to do the actions. So fill the brain, therefore, with high thoughts, highest ideals, place them day and night before you. Out of that will come the great work. So now how the thoughts go? See, thoughts results in actions. Now actions will make us do repeated actions. Then it will result in habit. Habits, we will say the tendencies, samskaras it will create. Suppose you see somebody is smoking cigarette. You tell him to stop, he can't. He says, no, I just can't leave it, he will say. Why? He has already made it a habit and it has become samskara. He can't leave it. Then you know the terrible thing, these samskaras will form our rebirth. Many times we say, oh, I had this. No, this is because of my genes. My father and mother had got this disease, so I also got. Wrong. We actually inherit ourselves, our own samskara, our own tendency. From where the tendency is created? By repeated thinking. Thinking is so strong. That will lead to rebirths also. Again it will create tendencies. Again it will create thoughts. So that is why all our ancestors, even Swamiji, Mother, Holy Mother, everybody said, be careful about your thoughts. Some of even the most modern doctors, psychologists, they are giving us warning now. So long our own ancestors and our own people were telling, we didn't listen. Now the Westerners will come and say, see, this is what the Indian philosophy said. Now we have verified it scientifically. Now believe. Then you will believe. That is what happens. Now the Dr. Brian Boas has done extensive research in this one. So many incidents has put forth. How the thoughts are carried on to the next birth. It's very, very, very strange. But it does happen. Another, Edgar Cayce, another philosopher and rebirth specialist, he said, see, people are afraid to spend few paisas, few rupees, but they are not afraid to spend thoughts. They are not afraid to spend words. They say bad words to anybody and think that it has gone. No, it won't go. It will come back to us. It will come back to us, and that is what we say in our thing as karma phala. I know myself one example. One lady, she became a little bit mentally deranged, and then she was extraordinarily brilliant girl. And after this sort of session, she found out for herself, in the previous birth, she had a husband who was so much devoted to God, but it was mentally deranged because of ecstasy maybe. But she went on taunting, you are a pagal, you are a mad person, and I had to suffer all this because of you, like this. Why my parents have given me to you as a marriage, like this. So this life, though she is a brilliant girl, something happened, and everybody called her a mad girl. See how the things come back to us. That is why all these people say, be careful what you think and what you say. Say, look at this one. What is that? As you can see, it is a lake. And you are seeing water ripples, is it not? One small drop that falls creates ripples. In Sanskrit, we call thoughts as these ripples, rittis. Because our Patanjali, the Rishi who studied it, he did such a thorough study. No psychologist has ever studied so much. The whole treatise he has done, that is called Patanjali Rajayoga. He has shown that if there is a small drop, it will create ripples in this mental lake. Then these ripples will go and dash against the bank and come back as karma phala, or the tendencies, or the samskara. So nothing is lost. Thoughts are not lost. Say, look at this one. This is a picture of what? Can you tell what? Recognize it. Recognize this one. This is a picture of what? Iceberg, correct. And science students can tell me how much of iceberg is outside water and how much is inside water. Can you tell? 90% is inside. Usually, correctly, if you want to say, you have to say 1/9 is outside and 8/9 is inside. Is it not? So, what is outside in our mind lake? That we call as conscious mind. We can see it. We can understand what is going on in my mind, that much only. See, the light that is reflecting is not ours. It is light of Atman. Without the light of our Atman, nothing can happen. That we are not understanding. Eternally it is present like sun. And what we can see, that is superficial mind or conscious mind. What is inside, we can't say. Even if I am the owner of the mind, I don't know what is there. That is subconscious mind. So many things are there. Maybe snakes are there, tigers are there, many things are there. They will jump upon you suddenly. Sometimes you will be scared in the dream and shout that as if we are falling from somewhere. Something happened to you and scream and get up. That is subconscious mind has fallen on you. It has sprouted from there. Sometimes you will see a very good boy suddenly taking to bad ways and doing something. Every one of us will wonder, what happened to him? He was so good. That subconscious mind is stinging him. It has, it is striking him. And he is not able to manage himself. That is why. Still lower to it is unconscious. Say, look at this picture. Actually, I got it from Atandraprana Mataji, who will tell from the mind control next time. Okay? So, from the top iceberg, you see, superficial things, the thoughts are generated. Thoughts, repeatedly we are thinking, it will become tendencies or samskaras. Again, it goes to, sinks to subconscious. And again from subconscious, the sprouting thoughts will come back to superficial mind. We will not understand how, but it is. See, what are the contents of the mind? It has got all these thoughts, emotions, attitudes, impulses. What they absorb from outside. Say, we say ahar. When you say ahar or food, we always mean what we take by our mouth. And especially mothers are very careful about their children. Hey, don't take this, it is very oily. It will make you fat. And don't take this, don't take that. They will be very careful. But none of the mothers are careful what her child is doing. Looking at the bad serial, TV, or mixing with the bad people, they will not be knowing. Say, they are also ahar. What I take from eyes, what I take from my ears, what I take from my nose, everything is ahar. That is why Patanjali stressed ahara shuddhi. Should be pure. But now we have reduced that purity to say, don't touch me, don't touch me. That's all. We don't take care of our eyes, our nose, or whatnot. Ears, bad words are spoken, and we hear bad things. We don't care for all those things. But each one of them, as you have seen the mind lake, each one of them is striking my mind lake. It is creating ripples. And it is sinking into subconscious. And will sprout, again it will sprout or strike you again in unknown corners. So we have to be careful. See, this is a picture of turbulent river, is it not? You can make it out, it is a river. But now the example is with a cosmic mind. See, our brain is an instrument. It's like a mesh, like a small glass. It will hold what? Water. From where the water has come, the water belongs to this river. Water doesn't belong to me. I put my glass inside this river, and some water will enter that river, the glass. I will say, this is my mind. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to cosmic mind. Very strange, is it not? Brain is mine, no doubt, but mind is not mine. It belongs to cosmic mind. Every one of us, we share thoughts. Sometimes you see, son will be somewhere in the foreign. Mother will suddenly cry and say, oh, something has happened to him. How come that she knew that something has happened to him? We say telepathy. No? We say telepathy, no? How do we, what is the telepathy? These brains are having connection, these minds are having connection. How? These minds know like radio station and radio receiving station it acts. We have got certain frequencies, it will match. My frequency matches with you, then I will understand. Even if you don't talk, I will understand what you are thinking. That is how they are having close affinity. The friends, when they are very close to each other, They can understand, even without talking, what you are thinking. Sometimes, even before you utter the word, I will utter. You say, oh, how come? I was also thinking in the same way. Is it not? So that is frequency matching. Say, each one of us, our minds are like this, whirlpool. Whirlpool in this cosmic mind. The cosmic mind is like a flow of river, and we are all small whirlpools inside that. Okay? Infinite number. Then how is it I am not influencing you? I am not influencing that girl, but I am influencing only that certain girl. How is it possible? It is because of attitude. Each one of us, we safeguard ourselves with the help of a wire mesh type of thing. My own brain has got that. I will absorb only those thoughts which are relevant to me, which I want. I reject those thoughts which don't belong to me or which I don't want. See, this is similar to how the radio works. All those who know how the radio works or TV works, they can understand this very easily. See, inside this room, there are hundreds and thousands of microwaves going on. But when you switch on your mobile only will ring. Why not everybody's mobile? That same frequency is going here, is it not? That is going everywhere, so everybody should have got that voice. Why not? The reason is my mobile has got that matching frequency with this. That number is calling my number, and we are having matching thing. That is the reason. Same way, the radio station, if you are tuning to, say, Bombay station, you will receive Bombay station only. You won't receive Dibrugarh station. Okay? That is because that frequency is tuned. Like that, I am able to safeguard myself by certain thoughts which I don't want. And which I like, I welcome them. When we look at Swamiji's eyes, we see it is very something different from the ordinary eyes. What made it so different? And look again at Mahatma Gandhiji. Who made him Mahatma? I call him Mahatma. Thousands and thousands of people call him Mahatma. Why? How is it he is different from the ordinary person? He is looking like ordinary person. But how is it that millions respected him all over the world, even today? That is because of will. The quality and quantity of thought that is going through me, right? Say, look at this table. I don't know how much you will understand. Thoughts, quality and quantity and attitude, that decides about me. So look at the normal people. Their quality of thoughts are usually mixed, normal. And quantity also normal. Attitude is usually positive. Because if you are a negative person, people don't mix with you at all. They will try to avoid you. If you are a happy and cheerful person, people will come and mix with you. Okay? You have understood that. See, many people who are sitting and grumbling, you also try to avoid them. Let them sit in the corner and grumble. Okay? So that is normal, people are like this. But failures are there. Those who have failed in life. How? Why they have failed? They have got extraordinary negative attitude. Before they appear for the exam, they will say, I will definitely fail. So they will fail. If they appear for the interview, they will say, they won't choose me. So they won't choose that person. So everywhere with a negative attitude they go. The result is failure. Then there are some frustrated people. For their quality of thoughts are usually very, very depressing. It is so depressing, I have shown you the whirlpools. If you go near them, you will also feel depressed. Test and see yourself. If there is a frustrated and depressed person, simply go near him, don't talk to him, but you will feel depressed. Then, quantity of thoughts, more than normal. Thoughts will be rushing. You will be always grumbling, oh, this only happened to me. That person is all right and this person is all right. Only me is like that. Always egocentric thoughts will be going on. And the thoughts rushing is so fast. It's more than normal. And the attitude is usually negative. Mental patients, very depressing. Too high number of thoughts to control. Poor fellows, they are not able to control their thoughts. So, there is no prohibition for them. They do as they like. They are not able to control themselves because they can't control the thoughts. Then we call, oh, this is a mental patient. It's insane. The first effect of such thing is there will be no sleep. And once there is no sleep for days, they will definitely turn into mental patients. So they will have no control whatsoever. That's the poor thing. But what about the yogic people? What do you think of this measuring scale? What about the yogic people? How their thoughts should be? How their thoughts should be anytime you have thought. Not only the thoughts are pure, but there will be single thought. They will be very concentrated. And the quantity is too less. So, attitude is of course very, very high. See, this is a picture showing you. Yoga is the control of thoughts in the mind. That is what the Patanjali gave the definition. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha, he said. See, there are two stages. One is called yogic stage, another is called ordinary stage. The mind which is under control, yogic stage, they have got ekagra and niruddha stage. But ordinarily our minds are kshipta, means you just sit for 2 minutes, close your eyes. Morning you tried, I don't know how far you were successful. If you try for 2 minutes and observe your thoughts, 1 second it will be going to London, another second somewhere else, another second to Bazaar. So why don't you try yourself and see? When you get the interval you can, or now you want to do, then I can sit quietly for 2 minutes. We will see how many number of thoughts will cross through us. But some people are very stunned, lethargic, and they sleep off as soon as they get chance. They are mudha stage. A vikshipta stage is there. You people, you are trying to concentrate. You are trying to concentrate and be alert, but your mind doesn't listen always. Sometimes it goes off. That is vikshipta stage. And Patanjali says a very wonderful thing. What happens if the thoughts stop? Completely stop. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha says, no? What happens if it completely stops? Of course, I am not speaking of mudha stage, but I am speaking of yoga stage. Then they say the mind lake becomes clear and you will see yourself, Atman. So easy. It is just at near our hands, but we are not able to, because always my mind lake is turbulent. It's always doing like this, dancing about, not allowing me to see the bottom. If once we can see the bottom, then everything is over. That much we are not allowed. How surprising, na? How surprising. If we can control the thoughts, even for few seconds, a fraction of a second, then work is finished. Other times, we identify ourselves with thought. Look at the anger. You can see how an anger rises in you. Somebody is saying bad words, first you will try to resist and keep quiet. But suddenly, you will feel that anger is rising in me. You can study and find out yourself, can't you? Within a fraction of a second, that anger has occupied you and controlling you, and you will also retorting in the same words. You didn't want to. That fraction of a second has overpowered you. See, we cannot put the abstract thing to subject like this. We cannot. But simply for the making you understand, I have drawn this picture. With the light of Atman only everything works. The senses, what you say, ears, eyes, etc., we say Bahya Karan. You look at the words of Sanskrit that these rishis have started. This is external instrument, they say. Your eyes, nose, everything, hands, everything, they are external instruments. What is the internal instrument? It is also an instrument, but that is mind. Antakaran, internal instrument. That mind has got 4 components here, as you can make out. Chitta stuff is the background. This is the word used by Swamiji, background of mind. Then intellect and will. It is very close to Atman light, you can see. Then next comes ego. And next comes mind, brain, thoughts. Now you see, ego makes a full covering. It will not allow you to go to intellect or towards Atman. It will say, Ami, I myself have done this. That is ego. Ahankar. Ahankar, chitta, then manas, then buddhi. Buddhi, if it can be purified, it becomes transparent and we can see the light of the Atman. Then they will call it Dhi Shakti. Swamiji says, when the mind changes into will, that is one-pointedness, the nerve currents change into motion similar to electricity. This shows that when the will is transformed into nerve currents, it is changed into Then, when all the motions of the body have become perfectly rhythmical, body has become gigantic battery of will. This tremendous will is exactly what yogi wants. Say, Swamiji has compared it with a big dynamo, the battery. You can generate so huge electricity. See, you all know, those who know electricity and magnetism, when these atoms or electronics are running in all directions, you don't get current, is it not? You make it run in one direction, then you call it current, is it not? So that is the difference between yogic mind and our mind. See, even this is better example. Laser beam is a very good example for yogic mind. The upper portion you see, sunlight or the ordinary light, they fall on each other haphazardly and destroy each other's energy. Whereas look at laser beam, though they may look mild, they are so powerful, they can go from here to moon and come back. It is because they are so coherent, one-pointed, just like the soldiers marching together with one step forward, everybody marching with in the same way. That is the way that the laser beams go. That is the way the yogi's mind works. So that is why Swamiji said, somebody challenged him, he said, sir, if you can meditate for 5 seconds like our rishis, you would have been burnt to ashes. This is what Swamiji said, told them. So, this is will. The thoughts which are woven together like a laser beam can make it a will. This will, or the dhriti, or dhi shakti, is the first manifestation of Atman. So Swamiji says, each one of us has a vast field of energy in the body-mind complex. All of us have come with secret desire. What is that? We would like to develop our willpower. In other words, we want to transform our energy into will. So each one of us have got that motto. Each one of us have got that capacity. Then Swamiji says, a sinner can become a Christ, or a seed can become a tree, And we can evolve into a great person if we can only harness our mind. Buddhi or intellect is the capacity for discrimination. Dhriti is the motive power that takes us forward. So world moving power we can have. That's what Swamiji said. Now this is another pictorial representation of wish and will. See, some people mistake will with a wish. We say, oh, I want to do it, and I think that is my will. It is not my will, but it is my wish. Wish is like some desires which will make my balloons fly. It's the wind which makes my balloon fly as it likes. But whereas will is the power of Atman itself. See, look at this picture. I think a little better understanding you will have. Will is the power of self, Atman. Whereas samskara and desire together is the power of mind, manas. Will and desire together we say sankalpa. This is a rough outsketch I have given. With this, I want to come to end because anyway, I think Didi will be elaborating some of these points. So mind control is crucial for success and fulfillment. So Krishna said, no, you are your own enemy, you are your own friend. In Gita he says, Uddared Atman Atmanam na Atmanam avasadayet. Means what? Don't depress yourself. Don't spoil yourself. You have to lift your own self. Nobody can come and lift you. We think, oh, some God on the sky will come and lift me. No. It is your own Antaratma that will lift you. See, these are one or two examples I have given. Helen Keller, she was deaf, dumb, everything. Still, she was a great success in her life. So she had a tremendous willpower. All over the world respected her for that. Simple intelligence and skill without willpower is not enough to achieve any success. Behind all creative efforts in all spheres of life, there is the act of will. Wonders of science and religion are all the act of wonderful will. See, scientists also, they can concentrate and they can make a tremendous will. That is why they can discover. Whatever the great things we have achieved, wonderful thing about Swamiji is, he will never say you sit and meditate and become a yogi. Whatever you achieve, Swamiji will be happy with that. Say, one German boy, he writes a small reminiscence, says, why Swamiji went to America? He should have loved Germans. Germans are so fond of India and India's philosophy. Why Swamiji went to America? I'm angry with Swamiji for that. One day he said he visited NASA. NASA is space research, this one. What is the expansion you say? Most of you know it. The National Agency for Space Research, now what that one. And then there you know the rocket launching is going on. He was standing watching a rocket launching. He saw the countdown. Countdown started 10, 9, 8, etc. Then it became 2, 1, 0. No 0. There was a flash of light and the rocket is gone. Then he, without his knowledge, he said, so nice. Then he felt somebody patted him from the back and saying, that's why I love Yankees. You know what is that? He felt that Swamiji is telling as if, that's why I love Yankees. Means, I love the human adventure. Whatever you do, whatever you mark, you show your adventure in any field. Whether it is science, whether it is aeronautics, whether it is space research, anything. Swamiji is there to appreciate. So that shows a strong will. Another story also I read by Mary Louise Bott. She says, there was a story published in Reader's Digest, says that there was a accident, plane accident, people fell down on a, icebergs. It was a river of ice only, what you call that one? So they were all caught on the small icelands. And ice was fast melting because of the warmth of the body. So somewhere 10 were there, 5 were there, 2 were there, and they were all sinking and shouting. Now the helicopter came and started lifting the people. One brave person was there. As soon as the rope was coming down, everybody almost fainted. But he was tying two persons at a time to the this one rope. The helicopter was taking four persons at a time. Then 2 rounds, 3 rounds, and then it came at last and saw that the man has disappeared in the flood. Iceberg has melted completely. Then Mary Louise Bott says, Swamiji would have said, this is my man, because he has shown the Shakti or the power of Atman, the power of will. He didn't care for himself, he cared for others. So that's what Swamiji wanted. So Swamiji says, in every one of you there is infinite power. That is why he has written this famous shloka in his letter. Kim rodishi sakhe tvai sarva shakti. Means what? Why you are weeping, my friend? Infinite energy is in you. Many of us have no idea how much of goodness, strength and greatness are crying within us, each one of you. It is trying to manifest, but we don't allow it to manifest. That's the thing. Thank you.